what's up, everybody? It's the Liberal Loudmouth. So I was actually done recording videos for the evening. I was about to eat, but then I ran across this Van Jones clip, and I laughed so hard, and I just had to do a video about it because this guy is spot on most of the way. I'll fill in the gaps after we're done watching this, but just take a listen.
Last thing I just want to say is that, there's a reckoning inside the Democratic Party. Kamala Harris promised us freedom. Well, she delivered it to us because now we're free from having to run anything.
Oh, shit. Shots fired.
In Washington, D.C. That's not what we were signing up for. It's what we got. And I hope the party takes a chance to look at the fact that we pushed all our rebels out of this party. We had a rebellion in our party in 2016. It was called Bernie Sanders. You had a rebellion in your party in 2016. It was called Donald Trump. Your rebel won. Our rebel lost. And then since then, the rebels in our party have been pushed out. RFK was a rebel inside of our party. He wanted to run against Joe Biden fair and square. The DNC wouldn't let him. Pushed him out. You can walk down the list. Don't forget, Elon Musk was a Andrew Yang Democrat 4 years ago. He's out. You can walk down the list. Joe Rogan was very favorable toward Michelle Obama. He was a Bernie guy. He's out. So there's something that's happened in this party where the rebels in this party no longer feel like they have a place. And we've got to be able to talk about that stuff honestly.
So Van Jones here is he's spot on. Okay. He laid it out exactly as it happened. But at the end, he had said there's something going on in the party that's pushing the rebels out. Well, I can explain to him and to everyone else exactly what's happening. See, I'm 43 years old. I've been following politics since before I was in high school. My mom used to sit there and watch C-SPAN, and I would have to sit there and watch it when we were in the car. It was talk radio. I mean, it was constant news all the time. So I grew up with this, and I've been very attuned to politics and news and the government and all that stuff my entire life. So once I got out into college, I voted for Al Gore, was the first person I voted for. But then I've watched as people have been begging the government to fix the problems that were created under Ronald Reagan. My grandpa was a far-right conservative. I mean, as conservative as you can get. And when it came to Ronald Reagan, he told my mom, he said, I've been a Republican all my life. This man is going to destroy this country. He told my mom that. He was just a hard right conservative. That was the first time he ever voted for a Democrat because he knew that Ronald Reagan was going to destroy the country. And he did because, he himself didn't do it. But he set in motion this economic policy of trickle down. Is basically give all the money to the richest people and it'll trickle down eventually. Well, we've been waiting 40 years and it still hasn't done that. But in the meantime, that wealth gap, boom, has just exploded. So around 2005 to 2008, somewhere around there, people really started realizing, okay, there's something seriously wrong with this system where, remember Occupy Wall Street? You remember that? The establishments on both sides of the aisle railed against this. Oh, they're terrible, blah, blah, blah. They railed against this, but those were populist movements to try and slough off this establishment crap because we couldn't get out from underneath the neoliberal economic viewpoint, whether it was Reagan or Daddy Bush or Bill Clinton or Baby Bush or Obama. They all did the same neoliberal policies. So now you've got Republicans and Democrats. They keep going back and forth between the presidents. They're like, oh, God, the Republican didn't fix it. Let's put a Democrat in. Oh, they didn't fix it. So you see this seesaw. And then eventually people started just calling it the uniparty because that's exactly what it was. It was like two sides of the same damn coin. And the only differences between the two parties were the identity politics things, the things that legislators typically didn't fix. It would be things that the Supreme Court would fix. And that's what happened. So then the Republicans had an opportunity. They saw this asshole dipshit, and they tried this with George Bush because he was a doofus. And to them, he's outside of politics. But no, it turns out dude was into politics just like everything else. He was a piece of shit just like the rest of them. So when Trump comes in there and he talks in the way he talks and he acts like a goober, people relate to that. He comes across as authentic. So to them, they're like, oh shit, he's a political outsider. People have been shitting on him for years, and he's a billionaire. That means he knows how to work money. So I'm going to get behind him and cheerlead him and rah, rah, rah. So just like Van Jones said, their rebel won. The Republican establishment could not stand Donald Trump when he ran. But once he got that nomination, they all started falling in line because they were like, oh, what is this? Right? They all started falling in line. The problem with Donald Trump is that he's duped everybody. The guy's a kleptocrat authoritarian. He just wants to go in there and pillage as much as he can for himself, his family, and to increase the brand of his name. That's what he's doing. But then when Democrats had that opportunity, the same year, 2016, with Bernie Sanders, going back to the FDR type stuff, single-payer health insurance, taxing the rich so that it would be more fair for everybody, so that they would pay their fair share. Because if you're operating inside of a country where you've got highway systems, you've got logistics systems, you've got plane systems, mail systems, and you're using these things that society has paid for collectively, and you become wealthy by using these tools that we are paying for, you should have to pay your fair share also from it, because you couldn't have done that without all of the stuff that the people have paid for. Let's be very clear about that. So he pushed for universal health care to make it so everything is more fair, to bring back the top marginal tax rates, to do things like take care of homelessness, to stop warring in other countries, to do the things that would bring us back to when we were the most successful middle class. But the DNC establishment could not and would not let it happen. So they rigged the primary against Bernie Sanders to get him out, because they knew that his message was resonating with everybody. It was resonating with Republicans, it was resonating with independents, and it was resonating with Democrats. But then the DNC establishment that runs the corporate-owned media, the left-wing media is really just corporate-owned media, they used that, and they took control of the DNC and rigged the primary to fuck Bernie Sanders over. And it worked. It didn't work just once. It worked twice. But see, the first time they did it, people like me, the Bernie bros, were like, if you're going to rig this system against progress, then fuck you. And that's what we did, and Donald Trump got elected. And then come 2020, we're like, okay, I don't want to vote for this establishment guy, Joe Biden, but I'm going to have to because Donald Trump's a fucking disaster. So we put Joe Biden in there, and then, so what does the DNC establishment do? They commit a political coup on Joe Biden. Why? I think it's because Joe Biden actually turned out to be more progressive than they wanted. He was actually going to start taxing the rich. He put out things that were actually helpful to the people, and corporations were like, hey, whoa. We've been donating to you guys for a long time. Well, why in the fuck am I now going to have to start paying more taxes? So the Democratic establishment, and I really think this happened, I think they did this on purpose and committed a political coup against Joe Biden and installed Kamala Harris as the candidate. We all saw it happen. We know it happened. Now, I'm not saying Kamala Harris was a terrible candidate or a terrible person, but she's part of that establishment. She was more establishment than Donald Trump. And once we saw that happen, once people really saw the writing on the wall, and it's like now they're just doing it out in the open where everybody can see, all of the quote-unquote rebels were like, you know what? That Donald Trump and his people will actually come and talk to us. They'll listen to what we say. They pay attention to what we say, even though it's all bullshit. I mean, you and I could probably agree on that it's all bullshit what they're dealing with Donald Trump. He's like a wolf in sheep's clothing. Because of that, they took off. They were like, fuck this. Joe Rogan's like, these people are crazy. And that's what happened. And surely Van Jones knows that. He probably just doesn't want to say it out loud. He's doing it in a vague enough way where it doesn't come back and haunt him as saying that the establishment of the Democratic Party is the one to blame. But they are. They are. I don't even blame Kamala Harris necessarily. It was the Democratic establishment. And I can tell you right now, I have people that come to this channel. Me, I'm an extreme progressive, a Democratic socialist even. They'll come to this channel and say, fuck you, you're the reason that we lost because you're shitting on the Democratic Party, blah, 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 blah. And those are the people, okay? That's not even like the establishment elite that are running shit. It's because they've been propagandized by people like Van fucking Jones. Van Jones is part of this. He's part of the problem. Like Joe Scarborough, Mika Brzezinski. They're part of the problem. They get talking points, they regurgitate them. And yes, it happens on the right too, but they come across more authentic. Whereas the Democratic Party, they're like, well, we know what's best because we looked at graphs and we could do numbers and add and stuff, and these people are just dumb. Well, you know what? It isn't just intelligent people that are voting. And they haven't seemed to realize this. And if they don't get their shit together, if the Democratic Party doesn't get their shit together by 2028, they're going to lose again. Because people are sick of the establishment in this country. And I predict that once Republicans realize that, and if they do, because the right wing's propaganda arm is so vast and so good, especially with Twitter now, that they may not even realize that they're getting screwed over. But if they realize it, I think violence will happen in the street because those people will be like, you know what, we tried and it's not working. These people can fuck off and they'll freak out. Because Republicans know something's wrong, that's broken in the system, and they want to, just a wild change. That's what they voted for, extreme change, because something's wrong. But they don't know why it is wrong. But it's wrong because of the things that Ronald Reagan put into place 40 years ago. And it has just continued every year since then. Again, the Democratic establishment needs to get their shit together, pull their heads out of their ass, and realize that they need a Bernie Sanders or an AOC. That's what they need. They need the Donald Trump for the Democratic Party, period. Van Jones is absolutely right. And please let me know what you think in the comment section, especially if you disagree, because I want people to go through the comment section and see what I'm talking about. You'll have Democrats coming in here trashing me because I'm talking shit about the leadership in the DNC. And that proves the point that Van Jones made. So please, if you disagree, let me know in the comment section. Let me have it. Give me your best shot. Be the fucking loudmouth like I am. Anyway, that's it for now, guys. Sorry for rambling, but this shit gets me fired up, and, you know, it's just so irritating because I'm 43 and I've been watching it my whole life, and it's like we were so close. We were so close to having actual change in this country, but nope, couldn't do it because people like to rig shit. So yeah, please let me know what you think in the comment section. Like and subscribe to the channel. This is the Liberal Loudmouth. We'll catch you next time. Peace.